What up, what up, what up? It's your boy J Rock. Uh, it's the Barbershop 918 podcast. Doing a top five today. Nah, I'm joking. You know, Big Drew, Raw Dog, and myself, J Rock, we are part of the Barbershop 918. We try to bless the game every week with a podcast, but this week we will not be doing a podcast. This is graduation season. We got a lot of Raw Dog and Big Drew and myself. We will be attending a lot of graduations in the next week or so. So we're not recording this week, So you can always go listen to past podcasts. I think we're up to 68 now. You can listen to them on iTunes, Buzzsprout, on our website, thebarbershop918.com. Where we bless the game. With everything. I got a few articles on there that I've written. Raw Dog, he keeps the website up and running, but we're not going to be recording this week. But since we're not recording this week and I'm riding solo, Big Drew and Raw Dog, they always say that I'm trying to go solo, but I'm here. I'm here in the town for a while, so we not breaking up, as they keep saying we're going to break up, but we're not going to break up. But since Drew and Raw Dog are not here today, I'm going to do the top five that everybody has been waiting for. Top five BET uncut videos. If you were in college from 2001 to 2005, there was a show on BET called BET Uncut, where they would play all the videos that didn't make it during the daytime on Rap City 106 and Park. So I'm about to give my list. Number five. Wait. Oh, Drew just texted me. I can't do that list, apparently. Otherwise, I'm going to get my legs whipped. But I will do this. I talked to my boy Steve, one of my best friends Steve, and one of my best friends Jesse. We always talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder, as you all know, they were eliminated from the first round of the playoffs by the Houston Rockets. Couple of weeks ago, I think it was, or was it last week? Whatever, they're not in the playoffs anymore. But one of the things that just irks me about them not being in this, I keep seeing people say, "Man, we should have kept James Harden." And everybody just keeps saying we should have kept James Harden, and you see that over and over again. So my boy Steve, he sent me a text message, and he said, if you could do it all over again, would you still trade James Harden? And, I thought about it and everything, and I was just like, man, go back to October 27, 2012. That was 4.5 years ago in basketball time. That's a lot of time. And I would have still made the trade. And here's the reason why I would still make the trade. Because you keep Harden, and everybody's, looking at how Harden is now. But if you keep Harden, then he would have been a crutch on the team. He would have still been a sixth man, but the James Harden that you see now leading the Houston Rockets would not have been the James Harden that you would have gotten with the Oklahoma City Thunder. One reason why is because, for one, he would have been on a team where it was him, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. And the way the lineup was set up and the chemistry of the team, Thabo Sefolosha was the starting two guard. You couldn't play James Harden in the starting lineup with Durant and Westbrook. It may work in an all-star game, but in the 82-game season, it would not have been able to work. When I was working at ESPN, it was a time where Thabo went down and James Harden started. And I remember this particularly because I had covered this game. And the chemistry between the three out that's starting the game out, it didn't work, because the way it works is that Durant and Westbrook would feed off each other, and then Harden would come in at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, and then he would work his magic for the second quarter, then he'd close out the game. In this case, he wouldn't have been able to start. Now, let's be honest. Now, I just feel like if they would have kept Harden, then we still would have had some issues. And, everybody's always talking about Serge, but here's the thing about it. Who is to blame for Serge Ibaka getting that contract from the Oklahoma City Thunder? At that time, it was people that he was better than, who he averaged more points than, played better defense than. that were getting those contracts. So it's almost like, his agent is doing his job. He's giving him what the market value is. At the time, I think Ilyasova, who plays for the Hawks now, JaVale McGee, they were all getting double-digit contracts. And we've seen JaVale McGee outside of this year. He was a Shaq and the Fool Hall of Famer. So, you can't blame Ibaka for, wanting what he was worth. I mean, he got, I think it was a 4-year, $48 million contract. And, at that time, it wasn't many, the league was changing over. The days of Shaquille O'Neal and Dave Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon were going away. So, Ibaka could play defense. He could bang sometimes, but then he started shooting jumpers. So, I don't, it's one of those times if you do it again, I'm still gonna go with Ibaka. As much as I love James Harden, I love his game. From a business standpoint, you have to make a team, because even if you bring in James Harden and let's say you let Serge Ibaka walk, who's gonna fill in at that 4 position at the time? You know what I'm saying? You still got Perk, you still got Nick Collison, but you don't have anybody young. They didn't have anybody young at the time. So even during that time that we're talking about, from the 2012-2013 season to 2015-2016 season, the Thunder, they made the playoffs 3 of the 4 years. The only year that they didn't make the playoffs was the year KD hurt his foot. But they were in the Western Conference Finals 2 times. Now, when people still complain about James Harden, I'm like, okay, it'd be different if they were 41-41 or 38-44 or had a record such as that. Then, you could have a complaint. But they went to 6 games with the Spurs in 2014. 2016, they had the 73-9 Golden State Warriors down 3-1. So when people talk about the whole James Harden thing, I just kind of like, hey, it happened. And honestly, if we, we playing the butterfly effect, the Ashton Kutcher movie that came out a long time ago, what if he did stay? You still got Perkins on the team. And that next season, I don't think that even a older Oklahoma City team would not have beaten a seasoned San Antonio Spurs team. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck, as I tell my students. That season the Thunder were playing in was a strike season. They only played 55 games, so they had young legs. And so young legs, won out. And that's the reason why they were able to advance into the NBA Finals. But I don't think they would have beat a San Antonio Spurs team the next year, even if they kept Harden. I mean, granted, they were the number 1 seed that season, and Patrick Beverley ended Russell Westbrook's season, and that's the reason why myself and damn near all of Oklahoma dislikes Patrick Beverley now. They wouldn't have been able to get past that Memphis Grizzlies team, even if Russ played. I mean, because they always struggled against Memphis, and you seen that they ended up losing without Russell Westbrook in that series. So, you hear it over and over again, we should have kept Harden, we should have did this, we should have did that. If you look at, the dynamics of the Oklahoma City Thunder team, they've been successful in those 5 years. Granted, we always talk about, the what ifs and everything like that. But like I said, even if we kept Harden, we still would have had Kendrick Perkins on the team. And even if we managed to get by a Memphis Grizzlies team or a San Antonio Spurs team, we still would have had to play a LeBron James-led team. And as we all know, LeBron James owns the souls of everybody that's on the Oklahoma City Thunder roster from 2010 to 2016. It's just that they cannot beat them. I think they had 2 victories against LeBron James in that time. Game 1 of the 2012 finals, and then 1 regular season game, and three regular season games during that time. So when we can continue to talk about the 30 for 30 that we want to make and everything, but life goes on, moves were made, and some of those things you just have to deal with. Oklahoma City, they were thinking on the business side, we were thinking on the NBA 2K side on how we wanted everything. I mean, Presti could have, tried to maneuver something and kept Harden and Ibaka, and they would have went over the luxury tax or whatever. But he was shopping at Aldi's instead of at Walmart. I mean, nothing against Aldi's. Aldi's is a lovely grocery store, but it was just like they were penny pinching, and things happen. that's all I got to say about that. You guys can leave comments under that. But the Barbershop 918, we're not doing a podcast this week. We'll be back next week for episode, it's either 68 or 69, I'm not sure. But we'll be talking about at that time, it should be the NBA Conference Finals. Cleveland, they're sitting at home chilling right now. Golden State, still undefeated. They're chilling at home right now, but there's still two good matchups going on right now. The Houston versus San Antonio series and the Boston versus Washington series. So we got that, and talk more about LeVar Ball. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. You know, he cracks me up, man. I'm beginning to enjoy seeing this guy on TV because he just keeps, you know, saying outrageous stuff, and it just makes me laugh. You know, yesterday I watched his interview where he came on Undisputed. The first time he came on there, he's wearing sweatpants and a Big Baller Brand long shirt. Now he's wearing a suit. So it's just funny, man, just seeing him. But I look forward to seeing what, you know, what he has to do. I'm not paying $495 for some sneakers. You know what I'm saying? A brother about to get married, so shoot, I ain't got that kind of money. I don't know anybody on my timeline, on my friends list that's going to pay that $495 ticket for some shoes. But y'all be easy. Get some cardio in, all that good stuff, man. Life is good right now. Once again, like I said, podcast. Check us out on thebarbershop918.com. You know, I love you guys. Win is win, lose is lose, and they all find a way to do what they do. That's great words from my man, Dub C. Pitts, Langston Legend. We out of here.